Absolutely. When you say wellness coach, what did this mean? This could go in so many different arenas.
So I grew up as an athlete. I'm an athlete. I'm a runner. I rollerblade. I live in Southern California. I have sunshine all the time. Except for these last few days, it did rain. I was like, oh my God, it rained. But so that type of wellness, like physical wellness, like what we eat, nutrition. So my three buckets are mind, body, and soul. We talk about what we eat, how we move and exercise, and then what are our thoughts? What are we thinking? So that's the wellness. And I can tell you a little story about that either now or later about how I discovered this. So I coach on what I've been through. And so it's not theory, it's based on actual, like, this is how I overcame it. Y'all can too.
Tell us a story. We love stories.
Sweet. So, so I mentioned that I'm an athlete. So I play basketball and ran track back in high school. That just never left. So that physical activity I learned is like a part of who I am, and I need it. It's not like an option. So I talk about your approaching your health and your wealth and your well-being as a priority, not as an option. Like, oh, I'll get to it later. Like, no, we need to get to it now. And the reason why you want to get to it now is because later comes and then you are dealing with other things that you could have avoided possibly if you took care of it, you know, earlier. But that's here nor there. So before the pandemic, I was a Lyft driver. So I was like soccer mom. So I just like get up early and take people to work and take people to school. And I'm on my grind and making all these things meet right financially. And I thought I was doing the best thing for myself, taking care of myself, right? Financially, right? Getting the hustle, getting the work. Then I discovered that I was both taking care of myself and neglecting myself at the same time. I
Mm.
said, how is this even possible? But when the light bulb came on, I was like, oh my God, this is what most of us are dealing with. We're such in the grind of meeting and making, and we think we can sacrifice for a period of maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 6 months of this astronomical grind that's unreasonable, unsustainable because your body's going to burn out. And we end up figuring out it's like 3 years have gone by and you're still doing it. It's like, stop, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Um, and so that's where this wellness is like, oh no, we have to like, make prioritize our sleep. I discovered during the pandemic that I actually need 8 to 9 hours of sleep and not 5 to 6. Amazing. Like the body was singing, like amazing. Like, girl, you can't tell me nothing when I got all this sleep, right? It just responds different, it's nourished, it's hydrated, it responds differently. You hear and see things differently, and so you come alive. And so for me, that wellness is about exercising, what we're eating and intaking and drinking, what our inner thoughts are, and um, and then it's evolved even more than that since the beginning of 2020. It's evolved into what that mental health space is. It's really compounded with some of these suicides that have happened. And I've taken some extra pivots in that space as well to help people um, address it without going to a therapist. And so, well being for me is that. So, the reason after I discovered this Lyft driving experience, and I do not Lyft drive anymore. And before the pandemic, I was like, that's it, I'm done. Is that it's too much. It's too much. And we just have to figure out another way. Because for me, I want to live a long time. I don't know
Mm.
about y'all, but I'm trying to live a long time. So what does that mean? You need to take care of what you got. So for me, that's well-being. So how can we do our part, our part? Nothing's foolproof, but what steps can you do to try to help that along? Feel good, feel amazing for your family, your community. It all is interconnected, and so um, your passion comes through, I think, how you feel.
Wow.
You know, what time and energy you can give or put towards where your passions are. And that could be your occupation or maybe your hobby, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.